there, my friends, it's Jackie. I am just going to do a quick video here for you to give you some tips and show you up close and personal the cards in the Sweet as a Peach tutorial. So whether you purchased the tutorial or you received it free with an order, this will just help you as you go through creating these 12 cards. I write my instructions really simple. I try to keep them simple, easy to follow. So hopefully these added tips will help you if you're confused on any of them. So we are using Sweet as a Peach bundle for this tutorial, so you should already have this, obviously. So let's set that aside, and let's start by, I'm just going to take a scrap here of some basic white, and I want to show you how I found is the best way to stamp these peached images. Now, I experimented with different colors and found I like this the best. Now, it's up to you. You might not like this. You might like something different, so experiment with colors as well. But what I found is I like to ink it up using the Pale Papaya. You know what, shouldn't this new color been called Pale Peach? I'm like, you give us a peach stamp and it'd be perfect. Then I take a sponge dauber and I've got Calypso Coral here. And what I'm doing is just dabbing it around the edges. And just, you can go more or less. You might want to come in a little bit more on one side, but just dab it around and then stamp it. That one, see, I put a little heavy on that, so it really, your look is going to be completely different. I think on most of my samples, I probably went a little bit more right on those edges, and then that way we got a little bit more of the peachy look. So that's what I found I liked the best. So several of the tutorials will go that direction with the instructions. And then some I actually use some other colors as I was making my cards. So let's flip through these cards real quick. The first quite a few, well, actually most of them, I really used a lot of that designer series paper. And so I have the cutting instructions on there on the tutorial for you. This here, circle die, circle punch, whatever you have. But you can see there we have the color on the outside. Now this one, I think I use pumpkin pie. It'll show that in the tutorial. So again, another option for those. What I did on this card, plus a couple other ones, I wanted to show you how you can make your designer series paper go a little bit further. So when you have a 12 by 12 sheet and you want to cover the front of a card, because I like that look actually, rather than cutting it 4 1/4, which means you can only get, 2 cuts out of it and have enough to do this, I cut this piece at 4 and then 5 1/2. So if I wanted to make a bunch of cards, I can cut at 4 and at 4 and then, 5 1/2 on each one of those. And I could actually get 6 cards or card fronts out of a piece of designer series paper. But to keep the card the same size, I just cut that 1/4 inch off the front of the card. So you can see the front is a little bit shorter, which I like the look anyway. And then I did just put a 1/2 inch strip, I think this is, on the inside on this one, just to give it an edge. So instructions, I did use the stitch rectangle dies on several cards. I also gave you the approximate measurements. So if you don't have those dies, you can go ahead and just cut that. So this one, I believe I use Mango Melody for the color on there. After I stamped, I thought, you could apply some of that Calypso on here as well, or maybe even Poppy Parade. So I know, depending on what kind of peaches, they grow a lot of peaches here in Michigan, and the different kinds all have kind of different color tones. So you do what you like the best. So here we go again. We're cut at 4. This time I left the white edge. But here you can see our peaches again have the color around the edges. Now the ones on the base here, I stamped those off on scrap paper first. So those are lighter, both the leaves and the peaches, to make this one just really pop. And a lot of these I use that linen thread. And you can see I like to just tie my bow first and then I attach it with a mini glue dot. Also, I should point out on this one, in your instructions, a lot of times on these smaller pieces for greetings, I don't give you the exact measurements. I find it is so much easier to just stamp this first on a piece of scrap paper and then use your trimmer to trim it. That way you know everything is nice and centered how you want it. So here we go again. Peaches in the background are stamped off on scrap paper, so they're lighter, make this one really pop out. There's our 4-inch Designer Series paper as well. This time we brought in the flowers. So I love that the same leaf branch here works for either the small peaches or the flowers. Now this, I think I have petal pink on these. Double check your instructions. But again, stamped off on scrap paper. So everything's lighter so that our peaches really pop on that. This one, we're focusing just on those floral images. So there's a die that'll cut out your 3 flowers, or one that'll cut out your 3 small peaches. So again, I love that you can stamp directly, or you can cut them out and pop them up. So you've got both of those options with a stamp set. And then I was playing with rhinestones. I just kind of like the little bling on there. And there we go. This, I believe, is our pale papaya as well. Again, check those instructions, or maybe it's Calypso. But in any case, again, stamped off to make those images lighter. So, you know, I was kind of looking for the soft look instead of that big, bold look on there. And then here, I love the white on this one. You know, I went heavy on Designer Series paper, but then on this one I did not. And I kind of like how this stuff really just pops. Did some cutting on there, and you can see here our image is way lighter. This one I think I stamped off twice. This one I stamped off once, and that makes our peach really pop for us. And then this card is an easy fun fold. You'll see how it opens up like so. And for this one, our peach on our circle was stamped off so that our greeting really shows. And I also felt so it didn't clash with the beautiful Designer Series paper. If the image was lighter, it looked better than the stamped image right next to the beautiful paper images. Now, a little tip here on this piece, which you're going to stamp on. What I did, so your card here is folded and then folded back, essentially. I adhered this piece on first. Now make sure you get your adhesive only on this side so you don't glue it closed. But then I opened it up like so. I had this piece ready. I should have a piece here to show you. This was all cut and stamped. And what I did is I lined it up, you know, and just kind of held it there and then closed the card so that it ended up right underneath. You want to make sure you're underneath this piece, so when the card is completely closed, you're not seeing that white. So I hope that makes sense. So that was 10 cards. This tutorial I did a little bit different. Typically there's 12 cards, and I think the heading on the tutorial says 12 cards, but I think you really have, I don't know, quite a few more, because I did a whole set, 5 different layouts. These two aren't on a base. Using the note cards, I thought they worked perfect for this. And again, making that white just make your cards really pop. And using either the flowers or the peaches, the small ones, the big ones, and then mix and matching all the different fun greetings that come in this stamp set. It makes just a perfect little set of quick and easy note cards. So I hope you like this tutorial and these projects. I had so much fun making them. This stamp set is quite sweet, so to speak, but I've really enjoyed it. And I tried to use all the different pieces and a lot of the different greetings, but obviously you can mix and match these however you want. So again, thank you so much for either purchasing my tutorial or purchasing product from me and getting it for free. I hope you love the projects and use this tutorial over and over. If you have any questions, make sure to reach out to me. I'm happy to help you in any way that I can. So have fun stamping. Have a stamp happy day.